I'm going to tell you about a mistake that almost every person with insomnia makes right before bed. And this mistake is so common and so damaging that it's probably the single biggest reason why your insomnia persists. Once you understand this mistake, and once you stop making it, your sleep is going to improve dramatically. I'm talking about within days, not weeks, days. I had a patient named Marcus who came to see me about 2 years ago, and he was absolutely desperate. Marcus had been struggling with insomnia for 8 years. 8 years. He had tried everything. He had tried sleeping pills. He had tried melatonin. He had tried meditation apps. He had tried white noise machines. He had tried changing his bedroom temperature. He had tried everything, but nothing worked long term. He told me, "I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. I'm going to bed at the same time every night. I'm avoiding caffeine. I'm exercising during the day. But I still can't sleep. My mind just won't stop. It just keeps racing." When Marcus said that, I knew exactly what the problem was. His mind was racing right before bed. And this racing mind was the root cause of his insomnia, not his sleep schedule, not his caffeine intake, not his exercise routine. His racing mind, that was the problem. Here's what I want to know. Does your mind race right before bed? Do you lie in bed and your thoughts just won't stop? Do you think about work problems? Do you think about conversations you had that day? Do you make mental to-do lists? Do you worry about not sleeping? Let me know in the comments, because if your mind races before bed, this video is going to change your life. The reason your racing mind is so damaging is because of what it does to your nervous system. When your mind is racing, your brain is in problem-solving mode. Your nervous system is activated. You're in what we call sympathetic activation, which is your fight or flight response. Your heart rate is elevated. Your blood pressure is elevated. Your cortisol levels are elevated. Your body is in a state of high alert, and in this state, sleep is impossible. Your body is literally designed to stay awake when your nervous system is activated. Sleep requires the opposite state. Sleep requires parasympathetic activation, which is your rest and digest response. In this state, your heart rate is low, your blood pressure is low, your cortisol levels are low, your body is calm and relaxed. And in this state, sleep happens naturally. But if your mind is racing right before bed, your nervous system is stuck in sympathetic activation. You're stuck in fight or flight, and you can't transition to the parasympathetic state that's necessary for sleep. Here's what makes this even worse. When you can't fall asleep because your mind is racing, you start to worry about not sleeping. You think, "Oh no, I'm not falling asleep. What if I don't sleep tonight? What if I'm awake all night? What if I'm exhausted tomorrow?" And this worry creates even more nervous system activation. Your anxiety increases, your racing thoughts intensify, and you're caught in a vicious cycle. You can't sleep because your mind is racing. You can't stop your mind from racing because you're anxious about not sleeping, and the cycle continues and gets worse every single night. Marcus was stuck in this exact cycle. His mind would race before bed. He couldn't fall asleep. He would worry about not sleeping. His anxiety would increase. His racing thoughts would intensify. And the next night, he would be even more anxious. And the cycle would repeat. This had been going on for 8 years. Now, here's something really important that I want you to understand. When you have a racing mind before bed, you're not actually sleeping as poorly as you think you are. This is going to sound strange, but stay with me. Research shows that people with racing minds before bed tend to underestimate how much they actually sleep. They think they're awake more than they actually are. They think they're sleeping less than they actually are. But this underestimation is actually making their insomnia worse. Because they think they're not sleeping, their anxiety increases. And their anxiety makes their insomnia worse. It's a vicious cycle of perception and reality feeding into each other. So the racing mind is the Hajon mistake. It's the single biggest reason why people with insomnia can't sleep. But here's the good news. Once you fix the racing mind, everything else gets better. Your sleep improves, your anxiety decreases, your insomnia goes away. So, how do you fix a racing mind? There are several techniques that work incredibly well. The first technique is called brain dump. Brain dump is exactly what it sounds like. You dump your brain onto paper. Before bed, you write down all of the racing thoughts that are going through your mind. You write down your worries. You write down your to-do lists. You write down the conversations you're replaying. You write down everything. You get it all out of your head and onto paper. Why does this work? Because when you write something down, your brain stops trying to remember it. Your brain stops trying to process it. Your brain stops trying to solve it. You've externalized it. You've put it outside of your head. And now your brain can relax. Your mind can quiet down. And you can sleep. Marcus tried this technique. Every night before bed, he would spend 5 minutes writing down all of his racing thoughts. He would write down work problems. He would write down conversations from the day. He would write down his to-do list for tomorrow. He would write down his worries about sleep. He would write down everything, and then he would put the paper away. And something remarkable happened. His mind became quieter. His racing thoughts decreased. His sleep improved. The second technique is called worry window. Worry window is a technique where you schedule a specific time during the day to worry. You pick a time, maybe it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you say to yourself, I'm going to worry about things from 3 to 3:15. That's my worry time. But after 3:15, I'm not going to worry about anything. Then, when racing thoughts come at night, you say to yourself, I'll worry about this during my worry window tomorrow. But right now, it's not worry time. Right now, it's sleep time. And you defer the worry to the designated worry window. Why does this work? Because you're training your brain that worry has a designated time. Your brain learns that nighttime is not for worrying. Nighttime is for sleeping. Your brain learns that if there's something to worry about, it can wait until the worry window. And this dramatically reduces racing thoughts at night. Marcus implemented a worry window. He chose 3 o'clock in the afternoon as his worry time. Every time a racing thought came at night, he would say to himself, I'll worry about this at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And he would let the thought go. Within a few weeks, his racing thoughts at night decreased dramatically. His brain had learned that nighttime was not for worrying. The third technique is called thought stopping. Thought stopping is where you notice a racing thought and you deliberately redirect your attention. You don't try to fight the thought. You don't try to suppress the thought. You just notice it and you redirect your attention. You might redirect your attention to your breath. You might redirect your attention to your body sensations. You might redirect your attention to a peaceful visualization, but you redirect your attention away from the racing thought. Why does this work? Because when you fight a thought, you give it power. When you try to suppress a thought, you actually make it stronger. But when you simply notice the thought and redirect your attention, the thought loses power. It fades away naturally. Your mind becomes quieter. The fourth technique is called body-focused attention. Body-focused attention is where you shift your attention from your mind to your body. Instead of paying attention to your racing thoughts, you pay attention to your physical sensations. You might do a body scan. You might focus on your breath. You might focus on the sensations in your hands or your feet. You shift your attention from your mind to your body. Why does this work? Because your attention can only be in one place at a time. If your attention is focused on your body, it can't be focused on your racing thoughts. Your racing thoughts naturally quiet down when your attention is on your body, and this creates the perfect state for sleep. Marcus used all four of these techniques. He didn't use all four every single night. Some nights he used brain dump. Some nights he used worry window. Some nights he used thought stopping. Some nights he used body-focused attention. But by using all four techniques, he addressed his racing mind from multiple angles. Now, here's something else that's really important. If you're using screens right before bed, you're making your racing mind worse. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production. Stimulating content activates your brain. Social media, videos, and games are particularly problematic. Research shows that 1 hour of screen use after going to bed increases your insomnia risk by 59%. 59%. That's huge. So if you're using screens right before bed, you need to stop. You need to put your phone away at least 1 hour before bed. Marcus was using his phone right up until he got into bed. He was checking his email, he was scrolling through social media, he was watching videos, and all of this was activating his brain right before bed. When I told him to put his phone away 1 hour before bed, his racing thoughts decreased even more. His sleep improved even more. So let me summarize the Hajone mistake. The Hajone mistake is having a racing mind right before bed. This racing mind activates your nervous system. It keeps you in fight or flight mode. It prevents you from transitioning to the parasympathetic state that's necessary for sleep, and it creates a vicious cycle of anxiety and poor sleep. But here's the good news. You can fix this. You can quiet your racing mind, and when you do, your sleep improves dramatically. Here's what I want you to do this week. First, stop using screens 1 hour before bed. Put your phone away. Turn off the television. Close the laptop. Give your brain time to wind down. Second, try the brain dump technique. Spend 5 minutes before bed writing down all of your racing thoughts. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Third, implement a worry window. Pick a specific time during the day to worry. Then, when racing thoughts come at night, defer them to the worry window. Fourth, practice thought stopping. When a racing thought comes, notice it and redirect your attention. Fifth, practice body-focused attention. Shift your attention from your mind to your body. Do a body scan. Focus on your breath. Focus on your physical sensations. Do all 5 of these things this week, and I guarantee you, your racing mind will decrease. Your sleep will improve. Your insomnia will start to go away. Marcus did all 5 of these things. Within 1 week, his racing mind was significantly quieter. Within 2 weeks, his racing mind was almost gone. Within 4 weeks, his insomnia was essentially gone. He was falling asleep quickly, he was sleeping deeply, he was waking up rested, and he wasn't taking any medications. He had simply fixed the Hashone mistake. He had quieted his racing mind. Here's what I know to be true. Your racing mind is not your fault. You're not broken. You're not doing anything wrong. You've just developed a pattern where your nervous system stays activated right before bed. But this pattern can be changed. This pattern can be reversed. And these 5 techniques are how you do it. Marcus came back to see me 1 year after he started implementing these techniques. He looked completely different. He had energy. He had a brightness in his eyes. He told me, "My life has completely changed. I'm sleeping well. I'm waking up rested. I have energy throughout the day. I'm more productive at work. I'm more present with my family. I feel like I got my life back." And it all started with fixing my racing mind. I can't believe how much difference it made. That's what I want for you. I want you to fix your racing mind. I want you to quiet your thoughts. I want you to transition your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and digest. I want you to experience what it feels like to fall asleep easily. I want you to feel what it's like to sleep deeply. I want you to understand what it means to wake up genuinely rested. So here's what I want to know. Are you going to implement these 5 techniques? Are you going to stop using screens before bed? Are you going to do brain dump? Are you going to implement a worry window? Are you going to practice thought stopping? Are you going to practice body-focused attention? Let me know in the comments. Tell me which technique you're going to try first. Tell me how it goes. I read every single comment and I want to hear from you. If this video helped you, please hit that like button. It helps me know that this content is valuable and it helps the algorithm show this to more people who are suffering from insomnia. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next video. I'm releasing a video next week on the specific morning habits that improve sleep quality at night, and it's going to show you exactly what to do in the morning to sleep better at night. Thank you so much for watching. I'm genuinely grateful that you spent this time with me, and I want you to know that you have the power to quiet your racing mind. You have the power to calm your nervous system. You have the power to fall asleep easily. You have the power to sleep deeply. You have the power to wake up rested and energized. You just have to implement these 5 techniques. You just have to commit to them. I'll see you in the next video.